What up guys, it's Adrian from eMotorcycle.com. In today's video, we're going to be talking about motorcycle table lifts. In particular, specifically this one here, it's the Black Widow pneumatic, ultra wide, extra wide, whatever it's called. It's from discountramps.com, but I'm going to basically be sharing with you guys my experience, both having a table lift so I can work on my own bikes, as well as having this one in particular, because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably in the market for a table lift, so let's talk about it. Now, I had previously done a video about assembly of this particular one. I will link to it somewhere, I think either up here or up here. I never know which side it is, to share that. So if you guys are wondering how easy this is to install, it's actually super easy. The instructions were actually in everyday English and was super easy to follow, so that was awesome. I'll show you guys what was included in the kit. I'll take you off the tripod so you can see this up close. All right, basically Black Widow, who makes this table, they make just the table, which would be just the middle part with the middle ramp, and then all of the pneumatic stuff down below. Ignore the mess, sorry about that. But if you get the extra wide kit, it's gonna come with some extra stuff. You're gonna get the side piece down here for the ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4. This whole table can support up to 1,000 pounds. So now when you have this, if you want to put like a ATV on here, you could as well. Personally, I really like the extra width. I went with it because I do a whole variety of bikes. Maybe I should let you know a little bit about me. Hold on a sec. So my situation is this: I'm full-time self-employed. I make all my money, pretty much all my money from motorcycle-related stuff. So I have a ton of different bikes come through here. I'm not a mechanic. I just like to tinker on stuff and try and help people out. But it means that this table needs to be super adaptable, I guess, to all kinds of different bikes, and that's part of why I went with it. So some days I might have, this little CL360 on here, CL350. Other days I have a big Honda Goldwing or a big Harley Decker that weighs a ton. I don't always want to push a bike up and down here, so if I can just get away with riding it up here, even though the instructions say not to, I will definitely ride a bike up on the lift, and it makes my life so much easier to be able to put my feet down for getting bikes on and off. Another thing that this whole kit comes with is, you got a vise that comes standard, that's great, but you also have this adjustable jack stand, adjustable bike stand. I don't know what the proper word is, but basically you can adjust front to back where this is going to go to fit underneath your frame, to pop up underneath your frame. So let's say you want to service the chain or anything like that, whatever, or just clean your chain real quick. You slide this underneath, crank it up, and then your back tire's off the ground in no time, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do. It can also work if you want to roll this in backwards and put the front end up. So makes your life a lot easier. It comes included in the kit. That alone is probably going to cost you, I don't know, 100-ish bucks. So to get that included is excellent. So without further ado, I think I'm just going to share with you guys a few things. I'm going to share with you guys a few things I absolutely love about this particular table lift, a few things I just kind of like that maybe you guys will be excited about, maybe you'll kind of have a higher standard. I'm also going to share with you guys 2 or 3 things that I'm not really crazy about. Some of the stuff kind of relates specifically to me, so it's up to you guys to see what's relevant to you and what's not. And if you do have any questions, leave me a comment in the comment section and I will get back to you, and hopefully I can help you out and we can decide if this is the right table lift for you or if you should get something else. All right, so let's get into the things that I absolutely love about this. 2 of them I already mentioned. So the first one is just strictly the function. Like, working on your bike is so damn easy when you have a table lift that you don't mind the rainy days, because you're like, whatever, I can just work on changing my oil or whatever it is that your bike needs for maintenance. So stuff that you might otherwise kind of let slide a little bit, you're actually kind of gung-ho, you're actually kind of hyped up to just go and do that yourself. And second thing I think I already touched on is these side extensions just make your life super easy in terms of getting bikes on and off of there. Ride your bike with your legs out and just roll down, sitting on your bike. Super easy. If you have any kind of injury, if you have any kind of disability, when you have these extra side extensions, it is just so easy getting your bike up and down off the lift. Third thing I really love about this table lift is they did not cheap out on the paint. I am really surprised. Right now it's all filthy. I usually use some Goo Gone and it shines right up, but I've spilled everything on here. I've spilled gas, I've spilled oils of all kinds. I've spilled brake fluid like at least once every couple months on here, and it never seems to mind as long as I wipe it up right away. .4 brake fluid has done nothing to damage this. I was really impressed by that, because you always hear about how corrosive it is, but this thing just takes it like a champ and just wipes right off. They did a fantastic job. I'll show you guys. See this kind of maxi scooter right here with a big center stand? So the center stand just makes like metal scratching on metal. And I've put on the center stand, I don't know how many times on here, and it has not left a scratch at all. So I'm really impressed with just the quality of the finish on here. Another thing I love about the lift is the different heights. So right now it is literally, my shoulder is just like underneath the gas tank pretty much. That's level right there. So it makes it super easy to work on anything. This is about as high as it'll get. So even working underneath here, if I'm in a If I'm on a stool, I can easily work underneath the tank. Oh, look who's got a leak. Anyway, if I'm on a chair or a stool, I can easily work on whatever's going on underneath the bike. Piece of cake. This thing will go from basically this height here, which I think is a 33-inch lift, all the way down to 8 inches off the ground, and you have 5 adjustable points you can lock it into safely all along the way. Okay, so now let's talk about things that I like about it, but you may not. The first one is it is pneumatic, not hydraulic. So personally, I prefer pneumatic lifts because it's been like there's no maintenance to it. There's been really nothing to do, nothing to worry about. I used to have a hydraulic one that was like I had to like stomp on it to crank it, and on a little bike it was okay, but on like a bigger, heavier bike it was like. And then I had the opposite problem on the way down, where if I just put my foot on the release, if the bike weighed nothing like this one, I had to push on it to try and make it go back down again. And on a really heavy bike, I would just press down and just right down. So personally, I prefer this, but some people are going to prefer more of a big kind of industrial, what the dealers have, pneumatic type system, whatever. To each their own. For me, this has worked out fine, but I know other people are going to have different preferences. The other thing that I personally like, but you may or may not, is see this vise right here? It does a great job of holding the bike in place. Unless I'm doing anything where I'm really going to be cranking on bikes, I don't even bother using straps most of the time, unless I'm doing anything that requires like high torque. And it really holds it well. But I do know that some professional grade vices will actually have a arm that comes down and then also applies pressure here. So instead of just having squeeze coming from one spot, it has the squeeze coming from 2 spots to sort of better balance it. Have I missed that feature? No, not really. If I was a guy who worked at a dealership professionally as a mechanic, would I want that feature? Possibly. So that's why I am pointing it out to you. My next complaint, because I'm trying really hard to find things that I don't like, is these anchors with the nut here. Honestly, I'm probably just going to drill a hole somewhere else to put the anchors here. These anchors are for if you want to have like a strap to secure the bike. What I want to do is actually use something more like a cotter pin type kind of quick disconnect, so I can just quickly pull this out in case. You know, there are some times where you want to get really, really close to what it is you're working on if you need to like give the bike a reach around or whatever, and just you don't need these extension pieces in there. That would be great if there was a way to quickly disconnect them. So I think I'm going to get rid of these anchors. I'm going to put an anchor kind of over here somewhere, and I'm going to have just a quick pull out for this, so I can quickly pull these out on either side and just pull this whole side extension off in a matter of seconds. And the last thing that I don't like about this stable lift, which is really honestly the only thing that I don't like about the stable lift, is just the length. It's perfectly suited for like 90% of bikes, 95% of bikes even. What I mean by that is right here we got a kind of a Cafe Racer 350 cc's, whatever. There's a good 14 more inches that we have to play with, at least 14 to 16 inches longer wheelbase that will still fit on the stable lift. So I can have that, or I can have a bike like my Harley Davidson V-Rod Night Rod, and I can do pretty much everything in between, it'll fit. But I have a customer with a Honda Fury, and his bike, the back wheel is kind of a little bit resting on the ramp, which means it's not as supportive as I'd like it to be. So luckily I found that there is a extension piece that you can get, and I'm going to put that in my next video, I think. Bolts onto the front, and that'll make this front a couple feet longer, which means even if you have a really crazy raked out chopper, it's going to fit. Alright, I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but obviously I really like my table lift. Having one just makes working on bikes in the garage here so much easier. It means my friends can come over and they can do their brakes and they can do whatever it is that they need to do over here. I've had friends over do brakes, chains, you name it, oil changes. Realistically, if you were a good enough wrench, I'm sure just having one of these things in your garage, you could have your buddies over and just charge them 20 bucks to do whatever they want, and they would gladly pay you so they don't have to work on the floor. This particular unit, the extra wide Black Widow table lift, has been awesome. I've been super, super happy with it. I was really picking at straws to try and find things that I didn't like about it. It's been an awesome lift. You guys should definitely check it out. It's 900 bucks, but you would have to spend a lot more in other places to get a lift that's this good. Is it like super dealership quality? As far as I can tell, I mean, maybe not. You guys who work at dealerships, you would know better. But personally, if you're someone like me who's gonna maybe have like 100 bikes a year on there and that's it, easily best money you could spend. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I've had this thing for 2 years now, so I'm super familiar with it. I really haven't had to do anything with it though. It's been great, but you can leave a question in the comment section down below and I will be happy to hear from you guys, and I will give you the best advice that I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Adrian from Your Motorcycle. Please give this a like if you liked the video, and have a good day. Ride safe. Peace.